We begin with that wildfire that exploded overnight in New Jersey. Here's a live look from our Philadelphia station WPVI's helicopter. Trevor Auld is on the scene in Ocean County, New Jersey. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, George. This really became a mess overnight. Thousands of people evacuated and some major highways shut down. Let's show you that look up above again from our station WPVI in Philadelphia. You can still see some active flames this morning and really tons of smoke. A lot of the visibility is really messy this morning. And this was originally thought, the Jones Road fire, to threaten just a dozen structures, and then it erupted to threatening well over 1,000. Overnight, a raging wildfire tearing through New Jersey.
We're going to have 3 buildings or 4 buildings affected. Are we making a stand?
Thousands of residents forced to evacuate in the night.
I hope that I have a home to return back to.
The Jones Road fire quickly exploding in size, swallowing at least 8,500 acres, and it's only 10% contained. Firefighters battling the blaze, trying to save this building.
We're going to lose this.
Flames closing in around them, threatening this industrial area. New Jersey Central Power and Light cutting electricity to 25,000 customers in an effort to protect firefighters. Parts of the Garden State Parkway shut down, smoke obscuring the roadway, and more than 1,300 buildings threatened, including a former nuclear plant.
Smoke and everything was right in my backyard. Everything was covered with black ashes.
New Jersey Forest Fire Service attacking the blaze from the ground and the air.
As the day progressed, it was kind of scary. Should you leave? Should you stay?
Michael Farah looking on in horror as smoke filled the sky, the flames closing in on his neighborhood.
First, of course, your safety, but what are you going to take with you? Birth certificates, passports. It's just a very eerie feeling.
And we did learn just moments ago that those evacuation orders have been lifted. That's positive news, but the power remains out. So a big problem this morning is a lot of intersections like this one don't have functioning traffic lights. You can see the cop cars that are monitoring this intersection, and it's unclear when that power is going to be restored. Robin?
That is a major issue, Trevor. Thank you. We're going to bring in Ginger, who is back tracking the smoke and the wind.
Yes, and the smoke by tonight into tomorrow morning, we could be feeling and seeing all the way up here. So let's talk about what's going to go down. And it starts with drought. People have a lot of questions. Are we in drought? There is severe drought from central Pennsylvania and eastern Pennsylvania back to Washington, D.C., a couple of pockets in New Jersey, but south and north of where the fire is, they're actually not in drought where the fire is. However, the New Jersey Fire Forest Service has them at a level 3 out of 5, which they call high, for the fuels in the forest being very dry. So they do say that any fire start could be a bad deal. Now, the winds are a big deal because they're going to shift from north with gusts around 17 now to south. And that's where we're going to start inviting some of that smoke up here. So let's do the smoke forecast. You can see it start to pool up by 11 p.m. tonight. Very highly populated areas, including Western Long Island and New York City. That's going to be through the day tomorrow and even tomorrow night.
A lot to come. Okay, Ginger, thanks very much.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
Breaking news tonight. A wildfire burning in Ocean County has doubled in size. This is a live look from Topper 6. An eerie scene as you see the flames swallowing thousands of acres. The massive inferno is burning out of control, leading to thousands of evacuations and making for a long night for firefighters and homeowners. It's Tuesday night, and the big story in Action News is this destructive wildfire that is erupting in size. The so-called Jones Fire started in the Greenwood Forest Wildlife Management Area in both Ocean and Barnegat townships, and it continues to spread. So far, the fire has burned more than 8,500 acres and is only 10% contained. It's also threatening more than 1,300 structures, and more than 3,000 people have been forced to evacuate. We have live team coverage tonight. Leland Pinder is standing by live in Waretown, Ocean County, but let's begin with Caroline Goggin, who is standing by from Forked River, New Jersey tonight. Caroline.
Rick, we did see those flames tonight from this massive wildfire as we drove past the Garden State Parkway on our way here to Lacey Township, New Jersey. And what we're experiencing right now is a major traffic mess. Check this out as people try to get to their homes tonight in Forked River, New Jersey. This is on Main Street, right off of Lacey Road, which is a busy road in this area. And these cars are just at a standstill right now because of the road closures in this area as people try to get home and as these fire crews continue to try to fight these flames. Now, as you mentioned, we did just get updated information from the New Jersey Forest Fire Service as we take this video from Chopper 6 full tonight. They tell us that this fire has more than doubled in size since the last update we received. Now at this point, 8,500 acres have burned, 10% contained at this point, the fire is. And at this time, the Forest Fire Service tells us the number of structures threatened remains at about 1,300, and the number of residents evacuated from their homes remains at about 3,000. Now, because of that, a shelter has been opened up tonight at Southern Regional High School, and we were able to speak with some people there.
I noticed the smell at first, and then when I went outside, it was all smoky. And I have a balcony, so I looked on my balcony, and I saw ashes. And then shortly after, they were knocking, the authorities were knocking on everyone's door, letting us know to evacuate.
I was home with my daughter, and I live in Cornerstone, so the smoke and everything was right in my backyard, in the woods, in the back. I live by the plant, so everything was covered with black ashes. I see a lot of fire trucks, ambulance, police. Route 9 was backed up from south and north all the way where you can't see.
Bumper to bumper traffic.
Bumper to bumper, yeah. And I got rerouted over here.
And back out here live on Main Street tonight in Lacey Township, New Jersey, that bumper to bumper traffic they're talking about, we are seeing that and people are experiencing that right now. I did mention the Garden State Parkway. I can report for you tonight that it remains closed in the northbound and southbound lanes between Barnegat Road and Lacey Road at this point. And when we passed it tonight, fire crews were fighting flames right next to the highway. So a pretty scary sight for people in this area to see. And again, these people are out here tonight. They're just trying to get home as 3,000 residents remain evacuated from their homes at this point. We can tell you, Rick, we have seen numerous fire crews coming up and down these roads trying to get closer to the flames as they continue to try to put them out. Once again, this fire has more than doubled in size. The cause of it right now remains under investigation. We're live tonight in Lacey Township, New Jersey. I'm Caroline Goggin, Channel 6 Action News. Rick?
Caroline, thank you. We want to show you a map of the area. The fire is burning near Ocean, Lacey, and Barnegat Townships. And as Caroline mentioned, the Garden State Parkway is closed in both directions.
Seeing it right now, but every few minutes, fire trucks and other apparatus are coming through here, lights on, getting in position to continue to fight this fire. Now, take a look from Chopper 6 tonight. You see these live images. As you heard, 8,500 acres are burning. That is up from just 5 acres 10 to 12 hours ago. This fire continues to grow exponentially.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. Right? Wonder how, I imagine it was a lightning strike or something that started it. But it definitely got out of control.
Fire along the parkway. A mad dash out of Ocean County, New Jersey. The catastrophic Jones Road wildfire prompted mandatory evacuations in Barnegat and Ocean Townships.
Everybody's always afraid. I mean, we've gone through this before, but you know, the risk of losing your home.
Police knocked on Debbie Schaefer's door and told her she had to go.
But it's a little scary. And going forward, like I didn't have an emergency bag packed. So I was kind of walking in circles, like knowing I had to kind of get out of there, but trying to think, what do I need? What do I need?
Across the area, fire trucks, ambulance, and Forest Service vehicles navigated traffic jams, trying to get in position to contain the blaze. These men hosed down their auto shop to protect it. Not far away, out of sight, alpaca farm posted online their farm and animals were spared. Elsewhere, horse rescues were underway.
We need people with horse trailers to meet us at certain farms throughout southern Ocean County.
Into the evening, a smoky haze filled the air and embers fell to the ground.
Wow. All right, we're going to be dissecting Chicago. We're looking for some people that were impersonating, stole quadrillions of dollars. Supposedly they were friends that I went to school with, mobsters or whatever, became mobsters or joined the mob or something. I don't know. They're going to be taking care of themselves. So, yeah, was this all a diversion? I imagine everything that happens in America now is going to be a diversion to try and take away from what these people did to so many people, so many men, and me including. So, yeah, this probably was one of their diversions or something they needed. I mean, when you're dealing with that kind of money, right? Everybody's saying that, you know, I got all these kids and I don't, folks. They've been lying to you, folks. Yes, there was government officials in it, Daly and all them guys were involved in it, and everybody. A lot of money. Really sorry about that. But yeah, I think they were made or found out or something. Don't, folks, don't be afraid of these mafias and clubs. The Lord soon will deal with these people in Jesus' name. And thank God I never joined an organization or a mafia. I probably would have been good at it, but I never did. Let's continue to watch the madness and the burning of America and diversions and
Power has been shut off to thousands as a precaution. It's not expected to be restored anytime soon.
It's really scary, and it's almost like it's just a very creepy feeling.
Everyone hoping their community survives.
We probably won't sleep much tonight.
If you're a content creator, then you need to be using MotionRay for your videos. My name is Tyler Everts, a filmmaker and YouTube creator where I share my experience.
Now, we're expecting an update from officials in person tomorrow morning around 11 a.m., so much more to come overnight into those morning hours. There are some shelters set up in the area, one in Manahawkin at Southern Regional High School that allows for pets, the other at Manchester Township High School in Manchester. Hundreds of personnel on the scene from across the state of New Jersey tonight, and they will be into the morning. Live here in Waretown, Ocean County, Leland Pinder, Channel 6, Action News. Rick.
All right, Leland, thank you. So within the last few hours, the fire has ballooned, as we mentioned. I'm here now with meteorologist Adam Joseph in the Weather Center. And Adam, what are the conditions out there right now?
Yeah, it's continuing to balloon, but Mother Nature's helping a bit, easing the winds out there. But the one thing we've been talking about since last September, last fall, is the drought conditions. So this has been an ongoing situation with the ground bed, the forest bed being extremely dry. Storm Tracker 6 Live just to the west of Waretown earlier this evening captured that smoke coming from Waretown over the Parkway, pushing over northern parts of Long Beach Island. That has waned a bit, meaning that we don't have as much smoke and debris going higher into the atmosphere where our radar is bouncing off of those particles. The winds right now near Tom River, Trenton to Atlantic City, 3 to 5 miles an hour. Earlier this afternoon, it was 15 to 20 miles an hour, helping to fuel those flames. So again, thankfully, the winds are dropping. In addition, the humidity's up to 58%.
well, folks, stay safe. Anything now that happens in America is pretty much diversion. I imagine a school shooting will be coming up next. They created all this mess to cover up that they've been stealing from America and many people for a long time. These people that did this ain't even real mafia. They're mafia wannabes, biker wannabes out there. Sorry, Chicago. Chicken of the sea. Sorry about that. But you're a bunch of scumbags. I feel better though because I walked away from it all. But I know the Lord is going to deal with these people, and that money will come back to me. And when it does, I'll thank Jesus. of course, and God. And then if I can help people, I will help people. But first, I'd have to take care of myself. But yeah, folks, if you can't breathe out there, put a mask on. It's horrible. I've seen the smoke and everything. It is pretty bad. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting tired too with a lot of these people with all this stuff. It's just not what they said it was. It's obvious we are not prepared for national disasters anymore. I mean, you had the firemen on there saying we're going to lose it if we don't get something done here. Well, they lost it. They lost control of it. And this is where they're so close. You know, this is what's wrong with the government. They don't want to. They were so close to the ocean. If they would have had them firemen sprinklers out there and listened to what we wanted to do and pipe in water from the ocean to put out fires, that probably wouldn't have got. I mean, they're right off the coast. It would have been nothing to run a couple pipelines out there and split it and run sprinklers out there. You know, we just ain't got the right people running the show anymore, folks. We're going to handle that. We're going to handle it. Now, these people that have been stealing, some of these people are military vets and military guys that have been helping these people steal. Once they are caught, I'm suggesting that their pension and military pension be stripped from them and dishonorable discharge put out to these people. If they don't like it, then they can spend the rest of their lives in jail, which they probably will. They probably will for what they've done. Even if I forgave them, it's not up to me. So, I mean, I'll do my best to keep them out of jail, right? I wish that on no man or woman. These people must be not worried about prison the way they've been stealing. Either they think they're never going to get caught, or they think they can just do whatever. But I think now the day of reckoning is coming. If it ain't going to be a war, which they're going to lose real fast because we'll break out our military stuff and they will lose. It'll be a religion war. Whichever way they want, they will lose against the Mother Green and the butt kicking machine. And many will die. But instead of turning over the money, they chose to do it this way. So, yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of this, folks. They're going to do a lot of stuff. They're going to try and blame a lot of people. There are going to be a lot of diversions, shooting, all kinds of stuff to divert us away from what they've done. So we are within America. Congress, Senate knows. More troops are on their way. These are undercover troops. They look like everybody else. Good luck trying to find them. This is going to be incredible. Keep the cameras rolling. Mr. President Trump, I might get the best footage ever in the world. Keep the cameras rolling. This is all great footage. I need an ending for the movie anyways. And it might as well end in a fiery blaze, right? I wonder if we can use John Bon Jovi's Young Guns song in this. I got an old Colt 45, and the earth was my last bed. They asked me if I'm wanted. Yeah, I'm a wanted man. I got a 6-gun killer. A bad biologic man is all I need. Yeah. And struck down. Maybe we can use that song in the movie. I'm not sure. We'll have to get hold of Mr. Bon Jovi and see if we can do that. But this is just a tip of what's coming to America. Coming to America. all the witches, everything. Once we get rid of these people in America, then we can sprout. We could save the world. We could expand our broads and take out other countries and everything, right? Yeah, because it's bad, and we need an ending to the movie. So, sounds good to me. Right? It's obvious these people are corrupt because they can't see what's going on, and even the Lord is like, yeah, we're just gonna do this. Good morning, good woman. Good morning, Debbie. It's the Malted Milk Gang. Yeah, New York out there, Jersey's burning. Burning. Let's watch a little more, Deb. I didn't sleep too good, so I'm kind of loopy today. I'm not mad. Somebody was mad. Whatever this thing is.
Breaking right now on Mornings on News 12, thousands of acres burned in New Jersey. A major wildfire threatens lives, homes, and businesses. We have team coverage this morning. News 12 New Jersey's Lauren Dew is live in Thunderbolt 12 with how crews are trying to get this thing under control.
And News 12's Tony Caputo is live with an update on shelter locations for residents affected. We are following that breaking news this morning. A wildfire quickly multiplying in size as crews struggle to get it under control.
I'm Nick Medenis.
I'm Simon Chowdhury.
I'm Nick Medenis. Look at this thing. Thousands of people are threatened in Ocean and Lacey townships this morning. At least 8,500 acres have burned, and this is just getting started. Fire officials say it is 10% contained. More than 3,000 people who live in these towns have been evacuated, and some 1,300 structures threatened. That's homes, businesses, anything in its path.
And it's impacting roads this morning. There are multiple road closures to be aware of. Take a look at your screen right there. Wells Mills Road between Route 72 and the Parkway, Bryant Road between Wells Mills Road and Route 539, and Jones Road between Route 532 and Bryant Road. The Parkway is closed between Barnegat Road and Lacey Road, and Lakeside Drive on Route 9 to Route 532 is closed. And this morning, portions of the Parkway are back open this morning. They were closed as the fire was so close to the road. Between exit 63 and 69 have reopened, as well as the northbound lanes from exit 74 and 80. The 17-mile stretch was shut down for hours, creating backups, as you can see from pictures sent to us from viewers.
Right now, we have crews going to the areas most affected by this wildfire.
News 12 New Jersey's Lauren Dews in Thunderbolt 12. And Lauren, you just got off the Parkway. Which exit did you have to get off at? And are you seeing that huge smoke?
Yeah, I'm just going to switch the camera around for you right now. This is what I've kind of been focusing on. So we're in Thunderbolt 12. We have multiple cameras. Look at this orange glow that you could see in the sky. So we are kind of taking the back roads, okay? So we had to get right off at exit 80 on the Parkway. That's to Beechwood, South Toms River exit. There are a ton of flashing lights. No one is allowed through, and police really have you detoured, even locally too, just trying to get around here. Berkeley Township, right by Southern Regional High School, there were a ton of police officers there helping direct traffic. We're going to continue to kind of take these back roads here to get closer to some of the areas that are impacted here. But I want to show you what the Parkway looked like yesterday. This was around 4:15. You could just see the smoke taking over the sky. Look at that, right above the Parkway. This is the Garden State Parkway that we all take to get down the shore. Maybe if you live in that area, you take it to get to work. Look how it's just completely filled up with smoke. And then notice on the side of the road.
Now, folks, if you live out there, please stay inside, shut your windows, put a mask on. Put a mask on, right? I know they're not going to tell you, but there's a lot of people out there that have breathing problems. Breathing this stuff in could kill you or send you to the hospital or whatever. And that might be these sick people's thoughts, right? If they're not young, whoever's in the way of this smoke, if they have breathing problem surely is on their way, right? And that very well might be the way these people, these killers, these tyrants, these terrorists, these organizations are thinking in America. Whether they're connected to the Holy Church or connected to the holy government or whatever they call it, the new government, whatever it is. So please be safe. Put your mask on. Air quality is bad. I'm not hearing these people talk about air quality at all. And then we know it's bad because we can see the smoke is just all over out there. So please be safe. They don't care about you, but I do. I do. They don't, because they're trying to cover up all the money missing or stolen, and not only from me, from other people. So this might be part of their crazy ways, right? Now, like I said, I would like to see America shut down. No one in, no one out. And we start going through America door by door, getting these people. But I don't run the country. Thank God for that, Jesus, because boy, did they make a bunch of bad calls. Now, let's continue with the madness that somebody created for us in this country.
There on the side of a
Debbie,
parkway,
make sure you got
have
your
the
mask.
flames that are just up against the
And
guardrail there.
You
The
did
fire
you just
burning
wake
through
up? How
dry
come you are
grass,
not
burning
watching the
through the
Pope?
dry trees, so you get an idea
I
of the
watched the
vegetation
Pope
that it's
earlier
burning
this
through.
morning.
Both directions
Debbie, you
between
got your,
exit
did you
63,
just wake up
Stafford
when you
Township,
messaged me?
and exit 80, that's South Toms River, had to be closed down
You gotta take
yesterday
your
at about
medicine,
4:15.
and then
Now I
30
want
minutes
you to look at
you
this
can
video,
have
and you can
your
actually
beloved
hear
coffee.
some of the sirens too. This is video from the Island Heights Volunteer Fire Company there. They were
Oh my
rushing
God,
to
look
an
at it. It's just
industrial
burning out
complex
there.
not far from the parkway. This is in Lacey Township.
Yes,
You
I
can
am
hear the
waking up so
sirens. You can even
sleepy.
hear
I
their
know, me
radio
too, Debbie. I
pagers
didn't
going
go to
off
bed
too.
till like 5
But
in the
just
morning.
look
I
at
woke
how
up at
bright orange
9:30.
those flames are. And now we have video of the aftermath. This is chopper
Actually, I woke
video
up earlier
that's
than that, but I
above
went
that
to try
same
and lay back
complex,
down.
and it just
Whatever that
shows
thing was,
how
it would
burnt
not let me
down
sleep.
those buildings are. So again, we're trying to get more information, but obviously you can see this is a damaging fire. We at least know that one of these buildings in that industrial complex was destroyed. You can
Maybe
see
I
the
drank too much
firefighters
coffee.
putting efforts there to put out the flames. So you have the wildfire that's burning, but then on top of that, you also
Right
have some
when
buildings
you
that
messaged
are
me.
burning too. So we'll
All right, you
continue
got 30
to
minutes,
keep you
girl.
updated. I'm going to switch the cameras around in
Then you can
Thunderbolt
have
12
your
and kind of
beloved
work it around here. So we're going to continue to get to some of the areas here. We're making our way over to Route 9 in Lacey Township that is closed, and actually right where that industrial complex is. I'm going to switch the camera around for you too and see if I could zoom in a little bit. There's a ton of police lights, so even just locally too, we do have some road closures too, and we do understand that the power has been cut off too in this general area, so that's also why it's completely pitch black. But we also have the traffic lights that are working, so we'll continue to get more information. But again, we do know that this is a damaging wildfire. We'll bring you those updates as they come. For now, we are in Lacey Township making our way to Route 9 this morning. Lauren Dew, News 12 New Jersey.
I mean, is it any coincidence it started? Oh boy. Well, is it any coincidence that this fire started where there was only grass around? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but I imagine it was probably a lightning strike. Probably. We got no audio on this footage. Look at how dark the smoke is. So that's not good to breathe in. And that is not doing good to our atmosphere. Not at all. This smoke in the atmosphere could drop could change the temperatures. And this is not what we needed in America right now. Somebody's doing something out there, right? But we're going to keep cameras rolling because we've already caught a couple of them on cameras trying to start these fires. I think they caught 3 or 4 of them out west. I do believe we got rain coming tonight or today. It was sunny, but it's starting to look like it's getting overcast a little bit. God bless America. Yeah, this ain't good. We got no footage, or we got no audio on this guy. I don't know. They were screaming for help. I listened to the firemen talking. They're like, if we don't do something, we're going to lose this thing. And I'd say they lost it. Got out of control. Now, whether this was a controlled burn or lightning or someone deliberately did it to create a diversion, I don't know. That's for the professionals. I have to continue making this movie, and I need an ending. So people are, you're a monster. Why are you letting them? I'm not doing anything. I'm just a cameraman. I'm just a film guy. I haven't done that. I haven't left this place. Good God. This is probably what Spielberg went through. And George Lucas and that big dude. That big film. What was his name? He was a cameraman. Great filmmaker. Not Lucas, not Spielberg. I'm forgetting his name. He was a bigger dude. Short. Coppola? Francis Ford Coppola. Who gave us some great movies. The Godfather, right? Godfather. Look at what they've done to my yard. They show no respect to us people, the foreigners that come here. They're doing donuts in my yard and everything. Can you help me? What do I know about yards? What do you want with me? I am not a landscaper. Don Corleone, I need some help. These blades of grass are trying to kill me. These leaves are blowing in the wind. And sorry, I didn't sleep too good last night. Yes, right, when I messaged you. All right, let me check, see what time you messaged me. No, you didn't message me, so I have no idea. Oh, wait. Nope, you didn't message me, so I have no idea what time you woke up. Or did you just come into chat? My eyes are still sleepy. Johnny, can you tell me where this fire is? It is in New Jersey. It's in New Jersey, Deb.
Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Like this developer, mapping out a clear architecture for her team's next milestone, then attaching it to a Jira ticket so her whole team sees it. Do your thing, girl.
They're calling it the Jones Fire. Jones Road fire.
Unhoused that were living in the woods that might have been displaced.
Nobody cares about the Joneses. No one is trying to keep up with the Joneses. Did somebody do this to put the Joneses back on top?
I'll ask Trevor to come up and
I think
identify
so,
any
probably. Right?
issues
Nobody
with,
gave a
with
crap
on
about Joneses
house
anymore. We're
populations
trying
or
to keep up
campers
with the
that
Joneses.
that,
No, we
that
don't
may have
care.
had to have been evacuated.
Right? They went to the
With
bottom of the
respect
list.
to the
They had to
parkway,
get back on top of the list.
right now the parkway
So
is
someone
open. We're
started
working
this
on
fire.
the
On
movement
Jones Road or something.
west of the parkway,
Joneses are back on
as
top.
Bill just explained, and we're keeping our eyes on the area that is adjacent to each side of the parkway, as well as the median, to make sure that anything that may pop up is handled immediately and doesn't become a greater problem.
Is there any though indication now that there could be a possible closure though later, or is it at this point it's safe to say that like the fire is enough away from the parkway?
I mean, the Joneses have been on top for I don't know how many years.
It would be irresponsible of me to tell you the parkway wouldn't need to be closed if the fire suddenly begins changing its behavior. Different from what we see right now. You just heard the chief of the forest fire service explain that he's confident with respect to the techniques being deployed and the wind direction and the wind speeds are in our favor today. So we're hopeful and we're confident, but I'm not going to tell you there's no chance, because wildfire is risky, right? Really, really risky, and it can change suddenly.
I'm thinking of the challenges between it's already dry conditions already, and then of course the weather. What are the overall challenges as far as trying to figure out a cause right now?
The cause is under investigation right now, actively.
How challenging is it to try to get closer to finding out the reasoning behind the fire because of the conditions, and just you're already dealing with dry land as it is, and then just a quick hit of rain recently.
Yeah, no, the drought conditions in the state of New Jersey are serious and deeply serious, quite honestly, and particularly so in the southern half of the state. And that's only likely to that is likely to persist for months ahead. And the recent rains have been welcome, right? They've helped restore some reservoir and stream flows that we need for drinking water, but it hasn't solved for the dryness that has.
It is very dry out there. Now, for one, Trump was saying someone was trying to grab the money. Very well might be true, but Mr. Trump, Congress, Senate, White House, Pentagon, the whole sprinkler thing to put into our wildfires and within our neighborhoods. I didn't try to grab the money. It was somebody's idea. This fireman already went up in front of Congress and Senate, and they passed on it. It wasn't my idea. My idea, they just wanted to use reservoirs or whatever. I wanted to pipe in water from the ocean. So I can't take credit for that fire sprinkler system that fireman created. That was his idea. My idea is to pipe it in, meaning pipe in from the ocean, whether it be underground or like your Alaskan pipeline above ground, and pump water in to these areas that we have all these trees and Mother Nature. So that was my idea. The sprinkler system was a fireman's idea. And he did go in front of Congress and Senate. And I thought it was a great idea, because this also could have used, if we were under attack, it would have helped extinguish fires within the neighborhoods, within the wildlife, right? And they passed on it. They're just not making good calls, folks. I'm really sorry, but they don't like when idiots think better than them.
Has characterized this area and worsened in recent years. So that is a continuing risk. With respect to the investigation, I think that we can do multiple things at once. Look who you have around this space: the state police, the OEM, the DEP, and all its units, the Ocean County prosecutor. Right? It is under active investigation.
And then,
sorry, I was going to say, can I piggyback off that? Can the forest fire say how you guys will go about determining the cause? Just next thing.
Okay, let's hold the question on cause. That way we get back around to everybody who's asked a question.
I was just wondering if you could just address I had asked about any kind of unhoused populations in the woods. Can anybody elaborate if that's the case or not?
I'm looking back here and I'm not seeing anyone waking, eyes popping up that they know definitively that there has been such an issue. But we can ask that question and be in touch with you, share your information with Jimmy or Vincent over there.
Thank you.
Amanda.
Has the drought created any problems with accessing water to fight this fire?
So with respect to the aerial suppression, we can have Bill and Trevor explain how that would work. It's not as though we're tapping into drinking water lines in every instance to suppress fire, particularly
Debbie, can you hear me?
on the wildland side. You've heard the chief explain how we are fighting fire with fire to consume fuels in that context. Certainly, the tapping of hydrants by all of our volunteers and contributors to this effort overnight, particularly to provide structural
This fire
protection.
started yesterday, I do believe,
That does tax the water
whether
systems,
it was
but
a controlled
thankfully,
burn
we have seen
or lightning
some
strike,
rebound in stream flows. If you go over to our drought
or
website,
some
you'll
kind of
see
a
that there's been
diversion,
some
which I'm trying
rebound,
to
but
warn
we are
people,
still
make sure
in a
there's no
drought warning
diversion.
status in the state of New Jersey.
No, like I said, I don't know if this was a controlled burn.
But let me. Oh, you didn't ask a
Or
question. Yeah,
someone
I'm sorry.
deliberately started it, maybe by accident because it's so dry that people just don't realize what's going on.
So I think the best way to answer
If
that
we don't
question
play our
in the
cards
moment would
right,
say at
America will become
this
the next
moment what
desert,
we're
like
seeing
Saudi Arabia or whatever.
northerly winds, right? And
It'll be
so
all burnt up.
the best way to anticipate whether it might affect you would be to go to if you've got a smartphone, go to the App Store and go to Air Now and download that app, and you will be able to see real-time trajectories of wildfire smoke as it may change throughout the course of this burnout operation, which will be lengthy. But right now, the air quality action alert is for this area of Southern Ocean County.
In terms of this air quality alert, I mean, there are some health concerns, especially to people who already have a hard time breathing. What precautions are you encouraging those people to take?
Yeah, so I would, first of all, encourage folks to go to dp.nj.gov, and you will see a link right there to the air quality recommendations for individuals. Ocean County has also put out information to help guide its residents through all its local channels. These can be simple things about keeping the air in your car recycling as opposed to drawing in outdoor air, keeping your windows closed, not spending unnecessary time outdoors if you are particularly vulnerable, if you do have underlying pulmonary and respiratory conditions, seniors, young children, of course, as well. All of that information is available from both the County Health Department and the DEP. And then
I just wanted to ask Chief Donnelly if he can explain how you'll go about determining the cause of the fire.
Is that Danny Aykroyd standing there behind him?
Well, as of right now, the investigation was set
Look at
to
it.
start
I
taking
almost thought
place
it
here
was.
probably sometime around lunchtime. One of the things about Ocean County, it's a fantastic
It's just
town,
some guy
or
with some
county, I guess you would say, to actually do wildland fire investigation. Between cooperation between
Debbie, don't it look like Danny Aykroyd?
local PDs,
Look at
the
his
county
face.
fire marshal's office,
Or it looks like John
prosecutor's
Goodman.
office, and the Forest Fire Service,
Don't it? Looks like
we
John
have
Goodman.
a wildland fire investigation task force. And those folks are well versed
Which
in
was another
investigating
great actor, man.
wildfires.
He was in that one movie.
So what they will
Great.
determine is the area that the
Well, he was in a
fire
couple movies
started.
where that pilot,
They will
he
continue
was
on
the
to
pilot's
find
drug
the
dealer.
origin of why the fire started, the cause, and then depending on what that cause is will depend on how this is handled. But I'm very confident that they will come up with some sort of a determination. And once that determination is made and all their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed, we will make that information available to you. But as of right now, like I said, sometime around lunchtime, I know this task force was gathering up and going to make their way out there. You got to understand, a lot going on out there. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of smoke, a lot of fire, things like that. So the cause of the fire is probably not going anywhere. These guys will be able to go in and determine it. But again, you know, it's typically a hostile environment in the area where fire started and getting into where the fire actually originated. So that will be, they're in the process of doing that right now. So
Did they start where the fire originated, or how did they determine out of that?
well, they will determine that based on where the fire came from, right? They'll use basically their fire behavior education, determine how the fire behaved, and then track it back where the fire came from based on some indicators and things like that. That'll allow them to see where
Miss
the
Debbie
fire
Fox,
came
I have a
from
question
and
for
where it
you.
actually originated.
Do you have a dragon that you were keeping as a pet and feeding? And this morning or the other day, it got
I want to be clear about one thing.
flew around and blew
You
fire
are
out of its mouth.
You are asking
and
questions
started
of
fires
multiple law enforcement
and then
officials.
flew back home
And
to you
under
so it can
absolutely no
feed on their
circumstances will we tell you the
bodies and
details of
blood.
the ongoing investigation. So, but stay tuned.
You
We
seem
do
like a woman
investigate
that would take
and we
one of
figure
these
out
dragons
what happened.
in
And we
as
take
a pet.
action if such
Much
action
like,
is warranted.
what was that movie? Lake
I
Placid.
think we're good. I'll take sideline questions from anybody who may need them.
What are you looking for, buddy?
Yikes. Look at all that smoke. We don't want that smoke. Send it back. Good God. Memorial Mass for the Pope Francis. I think they moved him this morning. I was watching, Debbie. They moved him. We got an NJ 1015 morning. Breaking news. Massive evacuation as fire spreads in New Jersey. It's real close to the houses. So if they get a wind shift today, it's very possible them houses could go up. I know they lost a couple houses already. Yes, he is in the morning. He is in mourning for 9 days. Yeah, 9 days. I think they moved 3 days, or 2 days or 3 days or whatever he had. They sealed the door where his body was in the. Oh wait, no, they sealed the door where he lived. They sealed it where he lived. Now, if that seal is broken on the door, then Pope Francis has risen. And that's why they do all this stuff. That's just like they kept him in the one room for 3 days, supposedly, for mourning or whatever. Or 3 days, like the Lord was risen in 3 days or whatever. So maybe that's what they're trying to do is, I know they tested to make sure he was dead. Which I don't know how you can go through embalming and all that. And then they, like, is he still alive? I don't know. But the Cardinals should be going to the the Cardinals. Yeah, Doug. It'll take some time, right? I'm just making a movie. It sounds better if this was last Pope. You know, I watched a video this morning that people said after Pope Francis died, now it's something to do with demonic or the devil or something, or we got some moon coming up with a half crescent. And then we got Mars and Jupiter or Saturn that are supposed to sit up above it, and it's supposed to make a smiley face out of the moon, right? So we got that coming up. So everyone's saying, it's the time of the devil. I'm like, we've been living. We're in this predicament because of the devil. Not, the devil is coming. He's here. He's been here. And now we're preparing to fight in a massive war against the devil. I mean, what's the devil going to do? He can't control us, right? He's going to say, well, I got millions, and we're going to get rid of them all until there's no one for you to control, Satan. Then what are you going to do? Nothing. Nothing. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. We'll have to cash you back into the swine. Into the swine. The last one did not take that long. No, it didn't, Deb. We're not sure. They got it under control. It's not like everyone's going crazy. No, well, they may be. They may be. I'm just making a movie, folks. You know, that's it. I'm not doing nothing in real life because I ain't spending the rest of my life in prison. I mean, it's obvious these people have never been locked up in their life or their freedom taken for anything in their whole lives. And that's why money does. These people, they never pay restitution. They just get away with everything. I'm not going back to prison. I mean, I don't know how long some of these folks would last in prison. Probably not long. I know I wouldn't. I'm just a little mini-weight. Right? They'd eat me up for breakfast. I don't need my salad tossed. I don't roll that way. I'm sorry, little homies. But I'm going to stay on the porch with the big dogs. Ain't nobody going to roll my bologna in no flour. There ain't no way. It's just a mess, Debbie. It's horrible. It's just horrible, woman. The Lord is telling me I'm going to find a beautiful woman and I'm going to leave YouTube. And I was like, oh, I can any day. Well, I don't know if I'll leave YouTube, but you ain't going to see me too much. I'll tell you that much. But I can't wait, Lord. I can't wait. I can't wait. Where is it still burning? Okay, let's check this out.
Want to know how to create awesome videos? Check out motionarray.com. You can do it too. Titles easy, intros
Maybe I don't want to.
bridges, glitches so easy. Heartbeats, lightning, jazz, and pop. Fast and simple, drag and drop. I'm in love, it feels so cheesy. Video.
Breaking news for you. Crews are now battling a huge wildfire in Ocean County, New Jersey.
Yeah, we've been talking about it this morning. Audrey just mentioned it. 3,000 people evacuated, but we're getting word that all evacuation orders have been lifted, but the fire is still burning through more than 8,500 acres. Hank Flynn joins us live right now from Ocean County with the very latest. Hank, what do we know?
Good morning, Kurt. Rosanna confirmed. Absolutely. Those two evacuation orders have been lifted as of about 30 minutes ago. That's Lacey Township and Ocean Township. As you can look over here at some of the people who have, they were never here by force, obviously, but this is a Southern Regional High School, one of the two Red Cross shelters that were put in place once these fires put into place, the other being Manchester Regional High School in Manchester, guys. Happy faces. A lot of folks going home this morning. It was only a little bit, about maybe an hour and 15 minutes ago that it was announced that the Garden State Parkway had been fully opened once again as well. But gosh, guys, what a night. A ton of action for the lion's share of the last 24 hours. Kurt, Rosanna, the fire was first detected, as you said, in Barnegat just before noon yesterday. By last night, it consumed something like 8,500 acres, was moving quickly, threatened something like 1,300 structures, many of them homes. We talked to some of the 3,000 people evacuated last night about that very situation. Talked to them this morning. It's a dreadful feeling to sit in your car worrying about the state of your home.
The police did come in around 10 o'clock and they started telling everybody they had to get out because everything was shifting and coming near our community. We don't have any idea what's going on. We don't know if we have a home left.
I am very concerned because up the road there's a Tractor Supply company. They said that place took fire. And we're not too far away from it.
It's going to be a challenge, and hopefully our community comes together, as I'm sure they will, and, to
Someone
support one
said
another.
John Deere is closing the doors, Debbie.
Yeah, and fires like these guys are part of living down in the pines. We know that.
Shutting
New
down
Jersey
or
Fire
moving or
Service
something? I'm
firefighters
not
among the
sure.
best at dealing with them, but this one has been a lot closer to homes and businesses. The thousands of evacuations are a reflection of how serious that is, guys. And honestly, Rosanna, a ton of seniors down here, more than on the average. So a lot of folks advanced in age coming in via wheelchair and shelter, not because they were hurt, but because responders told them, if you cannot get out during the evacuation, call an ambulance or call 911 and we will come and get you. That is what's happened. But both evacuation orders have been lifted. The Garden State Parkway is open in both directions. The next mission, guys, is to go back into the neighborhoods and find out exactly what these people are going home to. Kurt, Rosanna.
Hey, real quick here, how populated is that area? 8,500 acres is a lot, obviously, and we've seen the crazy, harrowing video. Is there a large population center that has to be concerned now that people are going back?
Not a large one, it's sparse, but you're talking about LBI, and it is getting warmer out. If this had been maybe mid-July, you'd have more people down here. We're not quite at the shore, but close to it. There are a lot of people down here, and a lot of folks that have retired here, thus the seniors that we've seen here at the Red Cross Center. So no, not a big town having to be evacuated, but small towns running together the way it does in New Jersey.
You have to worry about structures as well. Thank you so much for the information, Hank. We appreciate it.
Woke up a couple hours.
Anytime.
All right.
I didn't sleep.
There was a man standing at the steps. Something wasn't right with this guy.
Medema, a registered sex offender, he tried breaking into a home in Dixie County.
The guy who showed up at your door was a suspect in shooting a police officer.
He turned and he shot me point blank twice. She thought I was dead.
The 10-hour manhunt ended when Medema got into a shootout with the armed homeowner.
Pointed mine at him, pulled the trigger. I kept shooting until he fell.
These are the things we have to deal with in our country, fortunately. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a chupacabra. Yeah, probably was a chupacabra woman. Are you taking in chupacabra dragons and then feeding them and they accidentally got out? I mean, there's been a lot of reports of something of a pterodactyl flying around in the sky, so I'm not sure. I hope not, woman. I know what you're going to say, but they were so cute when they were babies. They always are. Till they get big enough to eat a man. And that's probably what you've been feeding them, is your ex-boyfriends. I was going to be your next victim to feed to your chupacabra dragon. It's going to be the next victim. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this video. I got some picking up to do. I got to pick up breakfast dishes and food. I heard a loud noise in that video, like I yelped, like a Bigfoot yell. It could have been a Bigfoot yell. It could have been. Right? Sounded like one to me. All right, I will be back. I want to thank everybody for stopping in. Debbie, it's almost time for your coffee. Take your pill, then your coffee. You'll be in a better mood. You are kind of in a good mood, but yes, coffee woman. All right, I'm going to end this thing. Make sure you go ahead and listen to this video. Play it back. Debbie swears that she hears a Bigfoot in the background calling. Flog you, Johnny. You're going to flog me? I can't wait. I've been waiting. I think it's been 5 years now for a good flogging. It never came. I wish it would. No, you have a good day. I will be back.